All right, let's do this. This is a really fun thing I'm going to show you. You're going to have a great time. First and foremost, you get to see the entire Apple headquarters, that spaceship area, the very, very famous Rainbow Park, right? So they've got a park, a beautiful ground out there. For some event, they put up this, little set with rainbows on it, and they all loved it so much, they just left it out there. It's become very famous now. People go and picnic out there. Lots of stuff happens out there. So we'll go there. We'll actually go down to the basketball courts. We'll go down to their sports and fitness areas. Remember what we're doing out there is I got an exclusive chance to actually take the iPhones, all the new iPhone 14s, before anybody else could get them, and take them out and test them for everything, from the new 48 megapixel sensor, their action mode, everything that they can do, the kind of pictures you can get with the 0.5, 1x, 2x, 3x, all of that and a whole lot more, including trying out their basketball courts. So also, the people taking me around were Francesca, who's the iPhone product marketing manager, and Jon McCormack, vice president for camera software engineering. Remember, this is an absolute exclusive. You're only going to see it here. So welcome to NDTV and the Gadget 360. Really looking forward to having a conversation with both of you, and congratulations. It was absolutely fantastic, all the stuff we saw yesterday. I think huge leaps forward, especially for what we're going to talk about today.
Well, first of all, welcome to you. Welcome to Apple Park. We're so excited to have you here and talk about our new lineup. So we have an incredible lineup this year with our 14 and 14 Plus. We have some incredible improvements on our camera side. Like you said, big leaps in photography that we've made this year.
So this is a great place to start to talk about the flexibility of iPhone's camera. And before, we talked about the 48 megapixel camera and why you would want to use something like a 48 megapixel camera. Well, it's for times like this where we're in the middle of what used to be an apple orchard, which is now the Apple campus. We've got this beautiful rainbow, we've got people, we've got lots of detail. And so when I take this photograph, as a creative myself, I want to be able to develop this photograph and to really make something extraordinary out of it. So I'm just going to bring out my camera. I don't need to do anything special. I just bring up my camera, go into ProRAW, and so now I can frame this great image that's got all of the arch, the folks underneath, but then the detail goes all the way back. And so when you go and zoom in on these images, you see so much detail. And for creatives around the world, this is going to be a great step forward in terms of the kinds of photographs that they can take and the quality of photographs they can take just with the phone that they carry around with them every day.
Do you want to take some photos yourself? And yeah, please. So you can see that really beautiful framing, that gorgeous color. From one single perspective, we'll be able to get 3x real close on our friends here that are having a picnic, 2x, and then the 1x, and then the 0.5. So it really gives you tons of creative flexibility.
Like, I can walk up to these folks, and the first photograph I'm going to take is sort of a close-up of them. So I'm going to go into my 3x mode. And so then with the 3x, I get down, and I'm really isolating just them. And it's just sort of this little portrait of a couple of people. But it doesn't quite tell the story that I want to tell, because there are these kind of like weird sort of colored shapes behind it. So I'm like, well, maybe I want to have a different frame for that. So now I'm going to go to my 2x. So now I can go frame them, and I can get part of the rainbow. It's sort of a more abstract shot. It's not completely clear what it is. I go out to 1x, and now I can have them with most of the rainbow. Or if I want that really expansive feeling of you're there and you're right in the middle of it, I can go out to 0.5, and now I can show the rainbow, the shadow, the sunburst, and the people in the front. And it's this beautiful cinematic photograph. And with all of this, I didn't have to change lenses. I didn't have to think about any of this beforehand. And that's absolutely the thing that we want for iPhone's customers.
Move your position.
Absolutely. I can just go down here, and iPhone automatically knows that I want to take a macro photograph, so it changes over, and I can get super close and just frame the berries. And again, I just got to sort of follow my intuition and follow the thing that I wanted to do, instead of going like, oh, need a different lens. I'm just like, I'm going to get close because that food looks really fantastic.
And it's even better this year with the improvements to the ultra wide, so you're going to get tons of that great detail. So obviously it's going to look even more appetizing than it already is.
The other thing we talked about is we've improved the selfie camera. So now we can do these autofocus selfies that allow you to get groups and much more of the background detail in. So we're in the middle of Apple Park, and so I'm thinking we go over to the other side of the rainbow so we can get this photograph.
So we're going to take a little group selfie so you can see the benefits of...
Yeah, and so now I can get me, both of you, the arch, and then all the way back to the tree and the building in the background. Everything is beautifully sharp, and we're able to do that because we now have full focus control, and so we can put the focal plane of the camera in the best possible position. Really high-tech solution. Customer doesn't have to think about it at all. So how about we head inside to find like a little bit of air conditioning and take some inside photographs before we continue with our adventure.
So here we've created our indoor low light moment. You can see this is where the photonic engine is really going to give us a great benefit, right, in these mid to lower light scenes.
Right, yeah.
And so, you know, we've got some dimly lit light, and it's going to do all of this intelligence in the background to bring back all of that rich detail and color. So John's going to take some shots for us.
Yeah, because as Francesca said, this was the big focus this year. We've done great in bright light, extraordinary, really dark images, and now we really wanted to just push that low and mid-light capability as much as possible. And so now, again, it's one of those things, you don't actually have to do anything with your iPhone to set it up. You just pull it out, point it at folks, and then just go ahead and take photographs. And the thing that you find when you do that is not only is the detail and the levels of noise and things like that, but the amount of colors and the way that the color gradations happen and textures happen, they're just so much more detailed.
All right, so now we're going to talk about action mode and show you the amazing quality video that you can get. And this is really for those moments when you want to get in the action and be in the action yourself. And so we're doing some really advanced things in the background using some roll correction and overscan. But the point is, all you have to do is turn it on and then it'll do all the magic for you.
Okay, this I really want to try.
Because this is that fun thing of when your subject's moving, when you're moving, when you've always needed so much gear to make that great quality sporting footage. And now what we're going to do is just use our iPhones. I'm going to shoot mine one-handed because I just find that an easier way to run around with. And we're going to go watch people play basketball and going to get right in the shot with them. And as you saw, for most of that, I was just using one hand, and I was right in the middle of the action with everybody, and the action was just buttery smooth. This beautiful cinematic video, and it is such an amazing feature. We can't wait to see what people do with it.
Thank you so much for coming out to Apple Park. It was such a pleasure.
Thank you so much.